Welcome to the Live Out Loud Show. I'm your host, Brooke Thomas. Well, we are wrapping up summer, and with that is back to school. We're in a new season over here. Reagan, our oldest, is in her third year of college at Alabama. And Riley, our youngest, is stepping into her senior year. I cannot believe it. It's crazy that next year, both of our girls will be in college. I'm going to try not to cry saying that. So for this episode, I've invited my girl, Sam, from the Live Out Loud team to help me talk through this moment of motherhood. Sam, welcome to the show.
Brooke, thank you so much. I am so happy to be here. Today, we're going to lean into what this season is teaching you and the lessons you're learning about motherhood, the prayers you're praying over Reagan and Riley, and some encouragement for any mom who's stepping into a similar transition. We're going to keep it real and we're going to keep it practical, and we're going to end with a simple way to pray over your school year. So let's do this.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm so glad you're here, Sam. I know you're just a little bit older than my girls, so it wasn't that long ago that you were in college and you understand maybe what your mom went through.
Yeah. She walked through it, and you're walking through it, and you're handling it with so much grace.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let me ask you. I need you to paint the picture for us. What does this season feel like with Reagan in her third year at Alabama and Riley is stepping into her senior year? What about this has surprised you the most this season?
Okay, well, first of all, anybody that knows me, anybody that has been following me for any length of time, every single season that my girls have been in since they were little, I always try to embrace every season. Even in my book, I talk about the power of our words. And when my girls were little, I was just so grateful to have kids, to have children, especially after what I went through with my cancer diagnosis. And they, told me that they wanted me to abort the baby and have chemotherapy. When I did not choose that option and I actually had my daughter Reagan, I just remember being so grateful to have a child that when I heard other moms say things like terrible twos, it really stuck out to me because I thought, I don't want to say terrible twos. I want to say terrific twos. Even if it's challenging at times, even if there were terrible moments at times, because there is when you're a mom, there's things that happen. I never wanted to put a label on my kids that they were terrible. I never wanted to talk about them as teenagers in a bad way. And I know that in life and in seasons, we all go through things. And I just wanted to make sure that I appreciated the gift that God gave me to be a mom. And so it wasn't perfect, of course. Of course, we all have these days where things come out of our mouths that shouldn't. But the one thing I will always say is every season I have tried to embrace, and I've always said out loud, and to anybody that has known me, I am going to embrace this season. I'm going to be excited about this season. And every season calls for a different level of parenting, a different style of parenting, and just a different level of my own growth. And so Brett and I both, we talk a lot about just us growing as our kids have grown. And so what has surprised me the most in this season, the first year that Reagan went off to college, if anybody remembers, I just cried all the time. Like it was like grieving. For the first 6 or 8 months, anytime I even mentioned her name, anytime anybody mentioned college, I would just start crying. I didn't expect it, but it was just hard. I was so excited for her, but I was also just grieving the loss of her being here. And I was just so emotional. Now we're year 3. I told my husband, I'm like, we got this locked and loaded. We're good to go. We still cry when we say goodbye, but we're so excited for her because she's happy. She's thriving. She's so independent. She loves where she is. And as a parent, that's all you really want. And so it's been different because we've just embraced that she's not here full time with us, but we are as active as we can be with her over the phone. We helped move her into her new apartment. That was so fun. And then Riley, getting her ready for college now. She's going into her senior year and just spending quality time with her. My network knows I've canceled several events that I was going to have this year. I only have one left in Dallas, October 15th, 2025. If you're listening to this and you can still make it, that's really the only event I'm doing this year. And even next year at the beginning of 2026, I'm really devoted to spending as much time with Riley as possible. So I'm just excited about this season, excited for her and this new season.
Yeah, I love that, Brooke. And I love the way that you guys think with positivity about this and about the transitions and the changes that your girls are making, because I know it is something that can be grieved, but also there's just so much hope that we get to have, that we trust God. Like, you trust God with your girls, you and Brett do. And that's so fun to watch you guys just be excited for what God's going to do in their lives. So as they grow and as they get older, what are some traditions or specific things that you try to keep alive in order to stay connected with them?
Okay, so I look at traditions a little bit differently than maybe most people do. I used to think traditions were holidays, every year having the same place to go to for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or certain things you would do every single year. And I think that our family has become so dynamic with traveling, and we realized early on that we just love to travel. So since the girls have been 5, we took them both to New York. We've taken them to Paris. We've taken them to all kinds of places all over the world, all over the United States. And my girls are world travelers. They love to be independent travelers. They can fly by themselves places. And we just think experiencing the world and traveling is so much better than stuff. And so really around birthdays or holidays, we're always like, where do we want to go? What do you want to do for your birthday? What do you want to do for this holiday? Where can we go? Where can we experience life together? And I think traditions for me are really in my heart, like memories in my heart. And so we have really taken on this tradition as a family of just traveling every year and saying, where are we going to go this year? And so even moving Reagan into Alabama, it almost feels like a vacation when we go, even though it's very different, Alabama and college town. We make it an adventure. Every time Brett and I travel, we're like, let's make this fun. Even if it's somewhere we don't even really want to go, or it's somewhere that's not as amazing as we want to be, we're like, let's make this an adventure. Let's make it fun. And so I feel like the traditions that we have right now with the girls, as they have even gotten older, just have been so much more fun because we've been traveling with them since they were young. And that really has always been the catalyst for what Brett and I do in our business. We always wanted to have businesses where we could travel and we could work while we travel. A lot of times people don't like to mix vacation with traveling. That's all we've ever done. And so we appreciate being able to travel and work on our travel. And we don't really feel like work is something that's a burden to us. We have it dialed in because our girls, when they became teenagers, they like to sleep in till like 9 or 10. Brett and I always wake up at about 5 or 6. So we get all of our work done in the morning before they wake up, and they don't even realize we're trying to work while we're on vacation with them. So it just works for us. It's been an awesome tradition for us. And like I said, we do traditions very differently than a lot of people, but it works for us. That's just been really fun to just be able to travel and see how the girls experience life as they get older. And they just are so independent, and they could really go anywhere. And it makes me so proud because I know I didn't travel a lot when I was their age. And I remember the first time being able to travel at like 18 or 19, and I felt so alive in my spirit, but I was also like so scared because I had never done it. They have been doing this for so long that that's just not even a thing for them, which makes me proud. I also still would like them to rely on me a little bit more, but it also makes me really proud.
Yeah, I love that. That is amazing that is one of the traditions you guys have together, is traveling and experiencing new things. And I have just seen firsthand how independent and strong they are, but your bond and your relationship is so close. And I think it's because you get to have all these memories that they get to cherish together that are a little different than, being in the same place all the time. So with them being independent and strong and beautiful and amazing, there still come challenges. So as you watch them go through these challenges, how do you keep worry from creeping in and overwhelming you as a mom that cares?
Oh, I've got a lot of tips about this. So as a mom of daughters, there's so many things we can worry about. And the first thing I just want to say is I have been praying with Brett over my daughters since they were little girls, like 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't know when they were born. I wasn't who we are now. I didn't understand faith and the way that God worked back then, but I'm so grateful we had people come into our life when they were little enough, like 2, 3, 4, somewhere around that age. And they taught us how to pray over them, how to pray over their future, how to pray over their future husbands. Now, it's very strange when you're praying over your 5-year-old daughter about her future husband, but we were very disciplined to say, God, these are your daughters. We know that you already have their future husband picked out. Protect their bodies, protect their minds, protect their spirits, protect their purity. and, protect them when they become teenagers, protect them when they become 18, 21. We don't know how to protect them. We cannot control them, and listen, kids are kids, teenagers are teenagers, 21-year-olds are 21-year-olds. Eventually they will learn the way that they learn, whatever God has for their life and their plan. All we can do is love them and pray for them and teach them, and then rely the rest on the Lord. And of course there's challenges. Of course there's moments where I want to save them and I want to protect them, especially when there's like mean girls that are saying things, or when they feel upset or sad about something or lonely, you want to fix it. But oftentimes, Brett and I have just learned, get on our knees and start asking God to come in, because he's their father. And I'll say things like that. God, you're their father. I don't know what to do right now. So I'm asking you to father them. I'm asking you to father us. I'm asking you to protect them. And we pray for protection over Reagan and Riley every day. That's all we can do. And I learned a long time ago, all the worry, all the fear, all the control, it's not going to do anything. All I can do is pray and believe that God will protect them. And then we'll go through life and realize through moments of challenging times, like we just draw closer as a family. And we've just learned that God is just such a good God, and he shows up every time, even when there's challenges. And of course, we all as moms, want everything to work out perfectly the way it should, but that's just not reality. But the reality is you can give it up to God, and he will make a way, and he'll show up in circumstances that I just feel like we can't control, as parents. So that's what we've always done. And we continue to do that at this age. And trust me, I used to think the baby stage was hard. When they start to drive and they start to become, more independent, it's actually way harder, because you really have to let go and give it to God, and just to know that he's going to protect them. And if anything happens, the first thing you can do is just get on your knees and ask God to intervene, pour out his favor, pour out his love, and miracles will happen. They do. I've seen it so many times.
I love that. I love that you guys have this understanding that God's been a father for a really long time.
Yeah.
He absolutely knows what he's doing, and that the best place to run is to him, rather than trying to fix it in your own strength, because he cares. He cares about your girls more than you even care about your girls, and you love them so much. So that's amazing that you know that and you walk in that. So for the mom listening who's entering a transition, either her baby's going to kindergarten, or maybe they're entering high school or their first year of college, what's your best advice for her? Some practical advice for that mom?
I would just say embrace the season. Don't be afraid. Every season is different. Give yourself grace. Give yourself the mercy that God gives you, and pray, 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 and enjoy it. Enjoy every season. I used to be the younger mom that the older people would come up to and say, it goes by so fast. Enjoy every season. And I remember certain times being like, thank you. But like in my mind going, can we just speed up this season? This is a really hard season. In my mind, I would never say it out loud, because I think our words are so powerful that I'm really careful about what I say out loud. But in my mind, I kept going, oh, this is a really hard season. Let's get through it. And now that I'm past a lot of seasons, I would do anything to go back to some of those seasons and just enjoy a little bit more. And I don't regret. I never look back and regret. But even though I'm saying enjoy every season, and I said that and I meant it, I can look back now and think about times that I probably could have enjoyed it even more, knowing how fast it really does go. So I would just say embrace it, be there for them, and realize you cannot control anything. So enjoy your life too. A lot of times, one of my best advice I can give moms too is do everything that you can, but don't do it all, because you also need to take care of yourself, and God's supposed to take care of them, and you can only do so much. And then you also need to take care of yourself and have purpose for yourself. So many times I do see moms putting all of their purpose and all of their time into their kids, so there's nothing left for them. And I don't think that's good for the mom or the kid. And so now I am, 20 years later on the other side. Reagan's actually going to be 21 in a couple months. Riley's going to be 18 in a couple months. And they both tell me, I'm so glad that you actually have these businesses. And I'm so glad I got to watch you do both when other people told you not to, because they see that and they look up to that and they're like, you are a really good mom and you're a good businesswoman. And they saw and they heard people say, you have to choose. And I think some people should choose if that's what they feel. You know, I don't have a judgment on anybody, but if you don't feel like you want to choose and you want to do both, I believe you can do both. It just looks different in different seasons, completely different. I can work so much more now in this season than I ever could when they were little. But when they were little, I made it work in different ways and I made it fun. So that's what I want to encourage every woman to do.
So good, Brooke. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I just want to say thank you. I want to honor you as a mom and the way that you love your girls and you care for them and the way that you deeply pray for them. You sit and you spend time with God because you're fighting for your girls, because you know that God's going to do it better than you ever could, than you and Brett ever could. And it's just amazing to get to watch you do that. So thank you for your example and thank you for the way that you follow Jesus.
Oh, you're so sweet. Don't we all love Sam? I love that Sam is on the Live Out Loud team. You're so special. And I just want to thank you so much for being here. This was such an incredible episode. And to every mom listening, you are doing better than you think. Take the next right step, breathe, and let God meet you in the middle of it. And if you think of us, would you pray for our family as we get ready for next year with Reagan and Riley both in college? Okay, I can feel the tears coming on. Pray for wisdom, peace, and joy in this next transition. Thank you so much. And let me know how I can pray for you. And if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you go to Live Out Loud Brooke. I love to drop daily inspo there, and I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Before you go, I have something really special for you. My brand new book, Activate Your Impact, A Guide to Living Out Loud in Business, Life, and Faith, is officially an international bestseller, and I want you to get your hands on it. If you're ready to break free from fear, build with bold faith, and walk confidently in your God-given calling, this book was written for you. Inside, I walk you through 12 powerful activations to help you step into your purpose, expand your influence, and finally live the abundant life God prepared for you. And when you grab your copy, guess what? I have, of course, 3 incredible free bonuses too. I have been getting so much feedback about all of the bonuses in this book. I'm so grateful to share this with you. Your next level of impact is waiting. Do not wait. Click the link in the show notes below or just search Activate Your Impact on Amazon to get your copy today.